Ever notice how the calmest person in the room makes everyone else uncomfortable? They call you cold, detached, unreadable. Good. That's fear disguised as criticism. Because while they're drowning in emotion, you're watching, calculating, controlling. Your calm isn't weakness. It's a weapon they don't know how to fight. And the moment you master it, you stop being a player in their game. You become the game. This isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about weaponizing composure. 8 principles. No fluff. No inspiration. Just the psychology of dominance through stillness. If you've ever been called too calm during chaos, you're already halfway there. Now let's finish what you started. You walk into a room and say nothing. People already sense something different. It's not arrogance, not loudness, and it's absence. The absence of need. You don't seek validation, don't chase respect, don't beg for attention. That silence creates a vacuum. And humans fear vacuums because they can't control what they don't understand. Your calm becomes a mirror. They see their own chaos reflected back, and it terrifies them. Power doesn't announce itself. It simply exists, unmoved by the noise around it. Most people confuse presence with performance. They think respect comes from being loud, assertive, dominant in speech. Wrong. Respect comes from psychological weight. When you speak, people lean in. Not because you yell, but because you rarely waste words. I've watched boardrooms shift when the quietest person finally speaks. Everyone stops. Why? Because silence creates scarcity, and scarcity creates value. You're not performing power, you're embodying it. The loudest voice in the room is often the weakest. The silent one, unreadable, unpredictable, dangerous. Think of a predator in nature. The lion doesn't roar before it hunts. It watches, calculates, moves only when the moment is perfect. Your silence is the same. It's not passivity, it's precision. Every word you don't say is a boundary you enforce. Every reaction you withhold is control you maintain. Weak minds need constant feedback. They need approval, validation, emotional reactions to confirm they exist. You exist whether they acknowledge it or not. That independence from their perception is what makes you untouchable. They can't manipulate what they can't read. People will test you. They'll provoke, push, try to break your composure. That's fear disguised as aggression. When someone can't get a reaction from you, they lose their primary weapon: emotional manipulation. I've seen relationships, negotiations, even conflicts dissolve the moment one person refuses to engage emotionally. It's not coldness, it's strategy. You're not ignoring them, you're choosing which battles deserve your energy. And most don't. The moment you stop reacting, you stop being a player in their psychological game. You become the referee. And referees don't lose. Silence isn't weakness. It's the loudest statement you can make. It says, I don't need your validation. I don't fear your opinion. I'm comfortable in my own authority. That comfort is what they lack. So they either submit to it, respect it, or fear it. Usually all three. The silent aura of power doesn't come from what you do. It comes from what you refuse to do. Refuse to beg. Refuse to explain. Refuse to break. And watch how quickly the room starts revolving around your stillness. But here's what most people miss. Calm isn't just about staying quiet. It's about what happens inside your mind when everyone else is losing theirs. Weak people need chaos to survive. They thrive in drama, conflict, emotional storms, because that's where they can hide. In chaos, no one notices their incompetence. No one sees their lack of substance. But when you stay calm, you become a spotlight. Your composure exposes their disorder. They can't project their insecurity onto you because you don't absorb it. You reflect it back, and that reflection is unbearable. A calm mind is a psychological threat to anyone who operates through manipulation, guilt, or emotional leverage. You're not playing their game. That makes you dangerous. Emotion is the currency of control. Anger, fear, shame, these are tools weak minds use to dominate others. They provoke you, hoping you'll react, hoping you'll lose your center. Because the moment you react emotionally, you've handed them power. I've seen people lose jobs, relationships, respect, all because they couldn't control their emotions in a single moment. But when you stay calm, you remove their leverage. They push. You don't move. They yell. You don't flinch. They guilt trip. You don't absorb. That's not coldness. That's survival. In a world full of emotional predators, your calm is your shield. Think about every conflict you've ever witnessed. Who wins? Not the loudest, not the angriest, the one who stays composed. Courtrooms, negotiations, street fights, calm wins because calm thinks. Emotion is reactive, logic is strategic. When you detach from the emotional intensity of a situation, you see it clearly. You see the manipulations, the tactics, the desperation. Weak people fear that clarity because it means they can't fool you, they can't guilt you, they can't provoke you into doing something you'll regret. Your calm becomes a mirror and they hate what they see in it. Here's the psychology behind it. Weak minds are addicted to validation. They need constant emotional feedback to feel real. When you don't give them that, they spiral, they escalate, they try harder to break you. But every failed attempt makes them weaker and you stronger. It's a battle of attrition, and you've already won because you're not fighting. You're observing. I once watched a colleague try to provoke a senior executive in a meeting. Insults, accusations, passive aggression. The executive said nothing, just stared. The room froze. 10 seconds of silence, and the colleague crumbled, apologized, left. That's the power of calm. It doesn't need to defend itself. Calm terrifies the weak because it reveals their dependency. They need you to react so they can feel powerful. They need you to engage so they can manipulate. When you refuse, you expose the truth. They have no real power. Their dominance was always conditional on your participation. Remove yourself emotionally, and their entire strategy collapses. That's why they'll call you cold, detached, emotionless. Good. Let them. Those are compliments disguised as insults. What they're really saying is, I can't control you, and it scares me. And it should. Because a mind that can't be moved by emotion is a mind that can't be conquered. But staying calm isn't enough. You need to understand what they see when they look at you, and why it unsettles them so deeply. Your face is a weapon, not because of what it shows, but because of what it doesn't. People rely on facial cues to gauge threat, intention, weakness. They scan for fear, anger, hesitation, anything they can exploit. When your face gives them nothing, their survival instincts go haywire. They can't predict you, can't manipulate you, can't read whether you're friend or foe. That ambiguity is primal fear. Humans are pattern recognition machines. When you break the pattern by showing no readable emotion, you become an anomaly. And anomalies are either avoided or submitted to, never challenged. I've tested this in high-stakes environments, negotiations, confrontations, silent rooms where everyone's watching. The moment you master your expression, you control the room. People will fill your silence with their own paranoia. They'll assume you're angry when you're not. They'll think you're judging when you're just observing. That's projection. Their insecurity creating narratives to explain your calm. Let them. Every assumption they make is a liability for them, not you. You're not responsible for what they imagine. You're only responsible for maintaining control. And control starts with your face. Think of poker. The best players don't win because they have better cards. They win because their face reveals nothing. Their opponents are forced to guess, to gamble, to make mistakes. Life is the same. Every interaction is a psychological poker game. When you wear your emotions on your face, you've already lost. People know when to push, when to retreat, when to exploit. But when your face is unreadable, they hesitate. Hesitation is weakness, and in that hesitation, you gain the advantage. The unreadable face isn't cold, it's calculated. It's the difference between reacting and responding. Weak people will accuse you of being fake or hiding something. Good. That means it's working. What they're really saying is, I can't manipulate you because I don't know what you're feeling. That frustration is their problem, not yours. You're not obligated to perform emotions for their comfort. In fact, the moment you do, you've given them power. I've watched people lose respect instantly because they smiled at the wrong time, frowned when they should have stayed neutral, showed fear when they needed to project strength. Your face is a boundary. Guard it like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. The unreadable face creates psychological distance. People can't connect with what they can't read, and while that might sound isolating, it's actually liberating. You're not disconnected, you're protected. You decide when to let someone in, when to show vulnerability, when to drop the mask. That's power. Most people wear their hearts on their sleeves, bleeding out their emotions for anyone to see. You're a locked vault, and people fear vaults because they don't know what's inside. Could be treasure, could be a trap. Either way, they approach with caution, and caution is respect wrapped in fear. But the face is only the surface. The real weapon lies deeper, in the control you wield over the chaos inside. Every emotion you feel is a potential exploit. Anger, they'll provoke you into mistakes. Fear, they'll push your boundaries. Joy, they'll use it to distract you. Guilt, they'll weaponize it to control your decisions. Emotional control isn't about suppressing what you feel. It's about deciding what you express and when. The moment you master this, you become untouchable. Because manipulation only works on people who react without thinking. You're not that person anymore. You feel the emotion, acknowledge it, then choose whether it serves your purpose. Most of the time, it doesn't. So you let it pass through you like water through a sieve. What remains is clarity. I've seen empires built and destroyed over emotional decisions, leaders who let pride dictate strategy, relationships that collapsed because someone couldn't control their anger for 10 seconds, fortunes lost because fear paralyzed action. Emotion is the puppet string most people don't realize they're attached to. Pull it, and they dance. But you've cut the strings. That doesn't make you emotionless, it makes you dangerous. Because you operate from logic, not impulse. From strategy, not reaction. People can't predict you because you're not driven by the same primitive triggers they are. You've evolved past that. And evolution is dominance. Think about war. The side that panics loses. The side that stays composed, even under fire, finds the opening. Life is a series of small wars, conflicts, negotiations, power struggles. The person who controls their emotions controls the outcome. I remember a situation where someone tried to humiliate me publicly. Insults, mockery, the whole performance. I said nothing. Didn't defend, didn't react, just stared. The room shifted. People got uncomfortable, not with me, with them. Because my silence made their aggression look pathetic. They expected a fight. I gave them a mirror, and they couldn't handle their own reflection. That's the power of emotional control. It turns their weapons against them. Here's the neuropsychology. Emotion originates in the limbic system, fast, primal, reactive. Logic comes from the prefrontal cortex, slow, deliberate, strategic. Most people live in their limbic system. They react before they think. You've trained yourself to pause, to let the prefrontal cortex catch up. That pause is the difference between power and weakness. It's the space where you decide, does this emotion serve me, or does it serve them? If it doesn't serve you, you discard it. No guilt, no hesitation, just ruthless efficiency. Read Marcus Aurelius. Study Stoicism. Not for philosophy, for survival. Because in a world designed to trigger you, the person who can't be triggered wins. Emotional control is the ultimate weapon because it's invisible. People don't see it until it's too late. They think you're calm by nature. They don't realize it's a discipline, a choice you make every single day. Wake up and decide, today I will not be moved by chaos. Today I will not hand my power to someone else's emotions. Today I am the storm, not the leaf. That decision compounds. One day becomes a week becomes a month becomes a new identity, and that identity is unshakable. People will test it. They'll try to break it. Let them try. Every failed attempt makes you stronger and them weaker. But control isn't just defense. It's the foundation of something far more lethal. The ability to disconnect entirely. Detachment is not indifference. It's strategic distance. When you detach, you remove yourself from the emotional battlefield while staying mentally present. You observe without absorbing. You participate without being consumed. That distance gives you a perspective others don't have. You see the game while they're drowning in it. Most people are so entangled in their emotions, their relationships, their need for approval that they can't see clearly. You can, and that clarity is dominance. Because you make decisions based on reality, not fantasy. Based on what is, not what you wish it to be. Detachment is the lens that reveals truth, and truth is power. People fear detachment because it looks like abandonment. They want you invested, attached, emotionally dependent. Why? Because that's how they control you. The moment you care too much, you're vulnerable. They can threaten what you care about, manipulate your feelings, use your attachments as leverage. But when you detach, you remove the leverage. I've walked away from relationships, business deals, friendships, not out of anger, but out of clarity. I saw the cost outweighed the benefit. That calculation isn't cold, it's intelligent. Survival isn't about clinging to things that drain you. It's about recognizing when to let go. And detachment is the skill that allows you to release without regret. Think of a chess player. The best ones don't get emotionally attached to their pieces. A queen is just a tool. If sacrificing it wins the game, they do it without hesitation. You need to see your life the same way. People, projects, ambitions, they're all pieces on your board. Some are worth protecting. Others are worth sacrificing. Detachment gives you the freedom to make that call without guilt, without sentimentality, I've seen people cling to toxic relationships for years because they couldn't detach from the history, the investment, the hope. That attachment destroyed them. You won't make that mistake because you understand. Attachment is a chain, and chains are for prisoners. Here's the paradox. The less you need something, the more power you have over it. When you're detached from outcomes, you can't be threatened by loss. When you're detached from people's opinions, you can't be manipulated by approval or shame. When you're detached from your own ego, you can admit mistakes without losing respect. Detachment removes fear, and without fear, you're unstoppable. I've negotiated deals where I walked in willing to lose. That willingness gave me an edge the other side didn't have. They needed the deal. I didn't, so they bent. That's the psychology of detachment. It shifts the power dynamic instantly. The person who cares less controls more. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting care control you. You care strategically, selectively, with boundaries. You protect your energy like a finite resource, because it is. Most people leak energy everywhere, worrying about things they can't control, obsessing over people who don't matter, chasing outcomes that don't serve them. You don't. You focus only on what moves you forward. Everything else is noise, and noise doesn't deserve your attention. Detachment is the filter that separates signal from noise. Master it, and you become untouchable. But detachment alone isn't enough. You need to weaponize it, turn it into an advantage they can't defend against. Manipulators rely on predictable reactions. They push a button, you respond, they gain control. That's the formula. But when you stay calm, the formula breaks. They push the button, nothing happens. They escalate, still nothing. Now they're confused. Confused people make mistakes, and mistakes reveal their true intentions. Your calm isn't passive. It's a trap. Every manipulation attempt they make exposes their strategy, their desperation, their weakness. You're not reacting. You're collecting data, watching them burn through their tactics while you remain unmoved. That's psychological warfare at its finest. They think they're attacking. You know they're self-destructing. I've watched manipulators crumble in real time when their targets refuse to engage emotionally. Guilt trips that land on deaf ears, threats that produce no fear, flattery that gets no reaction. Each failed attempt chips away at their confidence, because manipulation is a performance, and performances need an audience. When you refuse to be the audience, the performance becomes pathetic. The manipulator is left talking to themselves, exposing their hand with every word. You don't need to counter-manipulate, you just need to stay calm. Your composure forces them to overplay, and overplaying is losing. Think about emotional blackmail. If you don't do this, I'll be devastated. That only works if you fear their devastation more than you value your boundary. But when you're detached, their devastation is their problem, not yours. You're not responsible for managing their emotions. They are. The moment you accept that truth, manipulation loses its grip. I've had people try to guilt me into decisions that serve them, not me. After everything I've done for you. My response? Silence. No explanation, no justification. Just calm acknowledgement that their discomfort isn't my emergency. That boundary shattered the manipulation instantly, because manipulators need you to feel responsible for their feelings. You don't. Here's the mechanism. Manipulation requires emotional investment. They need you to care about their approval, their pain, their opinion. When you don't, the manipulation has nowhere to land. It's like throwing a punch at air. All force, no impact. Your calm creates a psychological vacuum. They expect resistance, argument, emotion. You give them nothing. That nothing is everything. It's the absence that makes them question their entire strategy. Why isn't this working? Because you're not playing. You've already won by refusing to participate, and that refusal is maddening to someone who needs your reaction to feel powerful. Calm doesn't just deflect manipulation, it reverses it. The manipulator starts doubting themselves. Am I losing my touch? Why can't I get through to them? That self-doubt is contagious. It spreads through their psyche, eroding their confidence. Meanwhile, you're steady, unmoved, watching them unravel. This isn't cruelty, it's consequence. They chose manipulation as their weapon. You chose calm as your shield. Shields don't attack, they just make attacks irrelevant. And when someone realizes their attacks are irrelevant, they either retreat or submit. Either way, you've dominated without lifting a finger. But calm is more than defense. It's the foundation of something even more potent, the ability to command without ever raising your voice. Commands don't require words. They require presence. When you enter a space with absolute certainty, people feel it. They adjust. They defer. They wait for your signal. That's not charisma. That's psychological weight. You've trained yourself to carry authority in your posture, your gaze, your silence. Words are optional. Most people talk because they're uncomfortable with silence. You're comfortable. That comfort translates to dominance, because the person who's most at ease in silence controls the room. Everyone else is scrambling to fill the void. You're just watching. And watching is a form of power they don't understand until it's too late. I've seen leaders command entire organizations without saying much. They walk in, make eye contact, nod, and decisions shift. Meetings pause, arguments stop. Why? Because their presence carries consequences, not threats. Consequences. There's a difference. Threats are loud, desperate, performative. Consequences are quiet, inevitable, already decided. When you embody consequence, you don't need to explain yourself. People already know, cross this line, and something shifts. Maybe you withdraw. Maybe you cut ties. Maybe you simply stop caring. Whatever it is, they sense it's not worth finding out. That's the art of commanding without speaking. You've made your boundaries so clear, action and energy, that words become redundant. Think of a parent who never yells but gets instant obedience. Or a teacher whose silence makes students straighten up. That's not fear of punishment, it's respect for psychological authority. You've established a pattern. You mean what you say, and you follow through. No exceptions, no negotiations. That consistency builds a reputation, and reputation is leverage. When people know you don't bluff, they don't test you. I've watched people comply with unspoken expectations simply because they recognize the pattern. If I do this, they'll respond that way. Better not. That internal calculus happens automatically when your authority is established. You've programmed their decision-making without saying a word. Here's the neuroscience. Humans are wired to detect dominance hierarchies instantly. Body language, tone, spatial positioning. These communicate status faster than language. When you master nonverbal dominance, you bypass conscious resistance. People submit before they realize they're submitting. Stand still while others fidget. Maintain eye contact while others look away. Speak last, not first. These aren't tricks, they're signals. Signals that you're the apex, not the prey. And hierarchies are primal. Logic doesn't override them. People will rationalize their deference afterward, but in the moment, it's pure survival instinct. You've triggered the part of their brain that recognizes this person is not to be challenged. Commanding without speaking conserves your energy. Every word you say is a potential liability. Misinterpretation, contradiction, evidence. Silence can't be misquoted. It can't be used against you. It's the ultimate strategic position. Maximum impact, minimum exposure. I've won negotiations by saying almost nothing. The other side talked themselves into concessions, trying to fill my silence with solutions. I just waited. Let them offer. Let them compromise. Let them convince themselves. That's not manipulation. That's patience. And patience is a weapon most people are too weak to wield. But commanding without speaking is just the surface. The real war isn't fought in rooms or conversations. It's fought in the mind. And that's where calm becomes absolute. War isn't fought with weapons. It's fought with endurance. The side that breaks first loses. The side that stays composed, no matter the pressure, dictates the outcome. Your mind is the battlefield. Every provocation, every setback, every moment of chaos is a test. Can you hold your position? Can you stay rational when everyone else is panicking? If yes, you've already won. Because most people collapse under sustained pressure. Their emotions crack. Their discipline fades. They make desperate moves, bad decisions, irreversible mistakes. You don't. You wait. You adapt. You outlast. That's the war. And calm is your fortress. Panic is contagious. So is calm. When chaos erupts and you stay steady, people gravitate toward you. Not because you have answers, because you have composure. And composure implies control. Even if you're uncertain, your calm creates the illusion of certainty. That illusion becomes reality when others start believing it. I've seen crises diffused by one person refusing to panic. Their energy shifted the room. Suddenly everyone's thinking clearer, acting smarter. That's leadership through psychology, not position. You don't need a title to command respect in chaos. You just need to be the calmest person present. Because calm is magnetic. It draws people, resources, power toward it. Think of siege warfare. The side inside the walls doesn't need to attack. They just need to survive, to ration, to wait. The attackers burn resources, morale, time. Eventually they break or retreat. Your calm is the same strategy. When someone attacks you, with insults, accusations, manipulations, you don't counterattack. You hold your position. Let them exhaust themselves. Let them waste energy on assaults that don't penetrate. Sooner or later they'll stop. Not because you defeated them, because they defeated themselves. That's the art of psychological attrition. You win by not losing. And you don't lose by refusing to engage on their terms. Here's the reality most people refuse to accept. Emotion is expensive. It drains cognitive resources, clouds judgment, depletes willpower. When you operate from emotion, you're fighting with half your capacity. But when you operate from calm, you're using your full mental arsenal. Pattern recognition, strategic thinking, long-term planning. These require a clear mind. Chaos destroys clarity. Calm preserves it. That's why the calm mind wins. Not because it's smarter, because it's clearer. And clarity cuts through complexity like a blade. I've watched people lose everything because they couldn't think straight under pressure. Jobs, relationships, freedom, all sacrificed to emotion. You won't make that mistake. Because you've trained for this. The calm mind doesn't win because it's aggressive. It wins because it's inevitable. You outlast the storms, outlive the conflicts, outlast everyone who burns out chasing short-term victories. While they're celebrating small wins, you're building an empire of psychological resilience. Every situation you navigate with composure strengthens your foundation. Every provocation you ignore makes you harder to break. This compounds over time. Years from now, you'll be unshakable, not because nothing affects you, because you've mastered the space between stimulus and response. That space is where power lives. Guard it, expand it, let it become so vast that nothing, no person, no event, no catastrophe can breach it. The war is already over. You just haven't announced your victory yet. You've been taught that emotion makes you human. It doesn't. It makes you controllable. Calm makes you human. Dangerous. Untouchable. Every second you stay composed while others unravel is a second you're winning a war they don't even know they're losing. This isn't theory. This is survival. And you're either applying it or ignoring it. There's no middle ground. Watch the video. They only respect you when you do this. Machiavelli will show you why respect isn't earned through kindness. It's commanded through consequence. The telespectator who needs to see this is the one still wondering why being good never worked. Send them this. They'll thank you later. Or they won't. Either way, you'll know who's ready. Now, comment below. Calm is my fortress. Not a request. An order. Declare it. Engrave it into your operating system. The war was always internal. You just stopped fighting yourself.